Good morning, North High. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do you want an SGA t-shirt? Order forms can be picked up in room 135. There are both short sleeve and long sleeve, and orders are due February 1st. Make sure to get one now.
The Saga Club Sexuality and Gender Acceptance Club meets every Wednesday at 3:35 in room 125. All are welcome to come.
Please be sure to sign up for your AP exams. The deadline is February 16th. See Mr. Palmer if you have any questions.
The next Class of 2021 meeting will be held on Thursday, January 25th in room 135. All freshmen are encouraged to join.
The Spirit Days for North versus South are beginning the week of January 29th and are continuing into the following week. They are Meme Monday, Twin Tuesday, Wacky Wednesday, which you would wear tie-dye, Tropical Thursday, Fake and Injury Friday. The following week is Comfy Cozy Monday and Mourn the Rebels, which is a blackout.
The SGA meeting is rescheduled for this Thursday, January 25th, starting at 7:45 a.m. in room 135, since we do not have school on Friday. Make sure to come.
Hey North High students, there is still time to enter the Hub City 100 miler. Just get a paper from the bulletin board at the beginning of the social studies hallway. Fill it out, get your parents to sign, and return the form with your money to Mrs. Henderson in room 104 by the end of the day Thursday. We already have a lot of teachers participating. Let's see if we can keep the challenge going. Let's get healthier and win some prizes.
North is Always on Top t-shirts will be sold during every lunch shift next week, starting Tuesday. They cost $8 for short sleeve and $12 for a long sleeve.
There will be an iPad check on Wednesday. This is a very important check of your device. This is the semester change check, so it is important to have your iPad Wednesday. And now to Mike Smith for Talk About It Tuesday.
I want to ask you a question. What defines you? What words would you use to describe yourself? It's a question a lot of us have been asked before. I think if we were to be honest with ourselves, we'd realize that most of the words we use to define ourselves are just labels. Have you ever noticed how easily we do that in life? We just categorize people by labels. And it's not always other people. A lot of times, we do it to ourselves. If we really took a moment to think about the words that we use to label someone else, or the words that others use to label us, what would those words be? It's words like jock, geek, nerd, slacker. When we allow the one or two words that others give us to define who we are, it's like our world becomes narrow. It's almost like we become trapped by the definitions that others give us. It's amazing to me how often I hear someone say, "You can't do that." But what's even more amazing is how often we believe it. Imagine for a moment what your life would be like if you weren't defined by the labels or limitations that others give you. I mean, who would you be? Where would you go? What amazing things would you dare to do? I truly believe that we begin to limit our potential when we allow one or two words to define us. I know for me personally, I don't ever want to be defined as just one thing. I don't want to just be a skateboarder, or just be a speaker, or just be a CEO. What I want to be known as is me. And for some of us, the labels that we've been given, we're extremely proud of, and they're not a bad thing. Maybe you're labeled as a straight A student, an athlete, a dancer, a musician. And while all of those are great things, they never fully define who you are. For most of you, sports won't last forever. At some point, you're going to play your last game. Who will you be then? And for those of you that get straight A's and have the best test scores in school, that's great, it's incredible. But who are you when there are no more tests to take? Who are you when there are no more papers to write? I fully believe that human beings aren't defined by the shirts that we wear, the part of town that we grew up in, the sports that we play, or even the mistakes that we've made. Those may be the labels that people give us, but that's not what defines who we are. It's our inner qualities and it's our character that define who we are. When you stop allowing others to define you and you choose to define yourself, that's when your real personal journey begins. I think it's so important for us to remind ourselves that we're the captain of our own ship. No one has to do this for us. No one controls your future. No one controls your identity. No one can tell you who you are. You have to do that. So many young people today allow one circumstance in their life to define who they are. It's one bad test score. It's one bad breakup. It's one missed opportunity or one poor decision. I promise you, You're not your mental health diagnosis. You're not even your GPA or your test scores. You're not the sports that you play. You're not the breakup that you went through. You're not the wrong part of town that you grew up in. You're not the makeup on your face or the clothes that you wear to school. Every one of you is defined by something much greater than that. So here's my challenge to you. Dare to be clear in your identity. Dare to be clear in who it is that you want to be. Don't let others define you by your reflection or your failures and successes. Don't let the world define you. You define you.
In this video, Mike Smith talks about how you portray yourself and what forces you to change who you are to fit in. This episode brings up the question of how do you define yourself? Is it the labels or your inner qualities? Have a great day, North High.